Once, he had promised the world to her, Helena, but then he had turned from her because all of a sudden his heart fell completely for Hermia. She squirmed in his guts, while Helena burned for his touch. But there's always a lover and one who is loved, and there's always someone who don't love you with her. So Demetrius, he was completely oblivious to Helena now. He had the blessing of Hermia's dad to marry his daughter, but Hermia was savagely caught up in passionate thoughts of another. See, she loved Lysander. Well, he had her heart but not her hand. So she sought her dad and asked that he let them be together, but he said never. And if she refused him, she'd be sentenced to death or sent to a nunnery. So now it's fluttering heartbeats, stuttering lips, hands held softly, shuddery summery evenings. There's nothing else for it. Lysander and Hermia flee to the woods. They had to abscond, because in Athens, a daughter belongs to her father, but their love was strong. So they left, followed after by Helena, who whispered their plans to Demetrius, intent on his favour. She thought if she shared their plans for escape, he would show her some kindness. And so is the blindness of love often proved, and the course of true love did never run smooth. So the Duke of Athens is also in love. In 4 days' time he's going to marry his bride. So a group of townsmen gather one night to rehearse a play for his wedding beneath the moonlight. In secret, they meet in the forest. So now it's 4 lovers, 6 friends, and a trees full of fairies, on a midsummer's night with their hearts full of promise. Oberon and Titania, they're king and queen of the fairies. They rule these woods, and this night they're fighting. So she's withholding herself from her husband as punishment. He, in his turn, is delighting himself with a plan he has hatched for revenge. He summons his helper to fetch this rare plant, because once he watched Cupid loosen an arrow, it didn't hit his target. Instead, it buried its charms in a flower, and the juice of this flower leaked into the eyelids of a sleeping someone, leaves them entranced. And the minute they wake from their dreamings, they'll fall head over heels for the first thing that catches their glance. So he instructs his helper, whose name is Puck, to squirt some of this juice into his queen's sleeping eye, in the hope that she'll fall in love with a monster, some bull or pig that goes peeping by. Anyway, he hears Demetrius berating Helena, and he pities the lady, so instructs Puck to find the Athenian, and infect him with love for this girl who seems so out of luck. But Puck mistakes the sleeping form of Lysander for Demetrius, and when the young man awakes, the face he sees is not his Hermia. Helena instead takes her place in his affection. Puck's misconception realised, he casts the same spell over the other. So now 2 men both fall in love with Helena. Meanwhile, the fairy queen recovers from her slumbers, comes to life and sees the form of one of the players. This bulbous man, dressed for his part in the head of a donkey, Nick Bottom. All else soon forgotten, she swoons for him and he is lost in her embraces. So now, the woods are full of love and misplaced sighs and poor enchanted lovers at the whim of this giggling fairy king. So the story plays itself to close, resolves itself, and soon the lovers find their happy partners. Darkness falls, dawn rises on their laughter. See, the magic they have felt and moved to, they're pretty sure it's just a dream, but each retains this feeling that they've been wakeful in its dreaming. So now with hearts reeling, for each one they're one and no one without someone, the lover united with lover. The young men become husbands, the girls become wives, the sun sinks away on the midsummer's night, while the Duke of Athens, he marries his bride, and even Oberon and Titania hold hands side by side.